This video is not for parents or women who genuinely want to have children. This video is for women in their 30s who don't want to have children, but they feel that they might regret it later. My name is Camilla. I am 34 years old and I feel like I am in a crossroad. I have two options, two life paths that I can take. And it confuses me because one I feel really drawn to and the other one is the mainstream path, but it makes no sense for me to go there. Option A is the lifestyle of freedom where you don't have children, where you can wake up rested and when you can have endless conversations with inspirational people, when you can have your coffee in peace and travel the world and, do self-realization. You can start businesses, you can become the best version of yourself. And the other path is when you actually have children, but that path to me looks like the only thing I can see from the outside is a lot of struggle, a lot of self-sacrifice, and 23 hours per day is fighting, cleaning, cooking, trying to survive and keeping everyone alive, and 1% is maybe, or 1 hour is maybe, a little bit of love and appreciation. To me, motherhood is absolutely crazy at this moment in time. And it hasn't always been like that in history. And, nature couldn't have made motherhood the worst thing in the world if that was, since we want to keep the species alive. So you can't make motherhood a really horrible experience because then no one wants to be a mother. But for me, when I look at motherhood in this day and age, it's absolutely insane. I don't understand why anyone willingly would choose that. And for me, when I look at that, like a day in the life of a mother, for me, what I see is, you sleep barely nothing. You wake up and you are completely drained. So you're on minus when you start. And then you get your kids ready for daycare or school. And then you spend a whole day at your demanding job. And then you come home and have to cook and clean and do homework and drive them to activities. And you end up exhausted on the sofa and for, an hour until you pass out. And it's not even that you get a good amount of sleep after that. You continue the cycle. So you have another bad night and start it again. And, for me, I feel like, why would I choose that? In this video, I will share my own thoughts in this process and hopefully you will feel less alone and also get some tools and questions that you can ask yourself to unpack what is true for you. So there's a difference between wanting to have children and wanting to be a parent. And I think it's really important to distinguish this because you have to know before you have children if you really want the lifestyle of a parent. And in my case, I feel like I really don't. I could see myself having children, but not being a parent and having the lifestyle 24/7 as a parent. So I think it's only fair to the mother and the child to, if the mother truly enjoys being a parent, enjoys playing with her child. And it makes the world of a difference. And I realized that for me to feel like I really want to be a parent, I have to have enough security financially, first and foremost, but I also need security in form of a very supportive partner. And if I don't have the enough money to be able to buy someone to clean my home or cook or do any of these things, I don't want to have children. And it might seem extreme, but because it's a luxury to a lot of people, including myself. But I realized that if I don't have that, I don't want to put myself in a situation where I burn myself out, where I have absolutely no recovery. I can't even go to the bathroom alone. If I wait 10 years to have that financial security, maybe it's too late for me. And in that case, I'm okay with that because I know that I can't bring a child into the world as it is right now. And I also want to add that I asked myself, okay, if I had all the financial security and a supportive partner today, would I want to have a child? And the answer was still no, because I value freedom and the another kind of lifestyle. So I'm not sure that I will ever feel the urge to have a child, even though I have the financial security, even though that has to be there. If you say that you don't want to have children as a woman, people don't really have mercy with that. They will be like, why? What's wrong with you? But on the other hand, they won't have any mercy if you do have children and don't like your job and you don't do a good job as a mother. They will be like, why did you have children if you didn't want to? If you don't want to care for them, why did you have them? So just by realizing that you will be punished either way, you can choose your poison instead. And why not make it a choice that aligns with your heart? I also realized that people have a hard time understanding how you can actually like children but not wanting them yourself. And that's the case for me. I really enjoy children. I really like them. I want to be around them. I can babysit them. But I don't want the lifestyle of a parent. And I realized it's the same thing with liking dogs, for example. You can really enjoy someone else's dog and, they are so cute and you play with them and you want to be around them and you want to pet sit them. But somewhere you know that you wouldn't want that dog for yourself because it's so much responsibility and because you would have wanted to be a good pet owner. You would have wanted to do all the puppy courses and you wanted to give them the best food and, just take really good care of them, give them the exercise they need. And you're not at this point where you're willing to give that. So you take the responsibility and say that, right now I won't have a dog because I prioritize other things. I want to travel. I want to do whatever you want to do. And maybe I will have that later, but I couldn't do that to a dog right now. And I think it's almost the same with children. You can really love them, but you know that it wouldn't be fair to you or the child to have a child right now. And I really think that you have to have children for the right reasons, and it should be this inner longing that comes from within. It can't be logical. And I actually had, when I was 23, I had an insane desire to have children. I would only look at mother blogs, I would look at baby clothes, I would be obsessed with children. So I know what it's like to have this inner urge to want to be a mother and to have that child. And it's really animalistic. So you can't even fight it. You don't even reason and think like, do I want the lifestyle of a parent? It's like, give me the baby. But now that I don't have that urge, I see things really differently. And I also feel like you can't force that. You have to have that urge to be able to feel like it's worth it and feel like when you actually are up during those late nights, that is worth it because you really wanted that child and is so welcome in your world. So you get into motherhood with very different energies. Like, for example, if you have children just because you are afraid to regret the decision, you might not feel very, you might not have a lot of good thoughts and you might not have the inner strength to go through the rough parts of being a mother. Here are some comforting thoughts that helped me when I thought about not wanting to be a mother. And that's like, you don't have to be a mother to be able to survive when you retire or to help the population grow because we are so underpopulated, or contribute to the family. We're not at that. In this day and age, we don't need that to survive. I read this book by Dr. Shefali, and she talks about that it's not the body or nature that punishes a woman for not choosing to have children. It only offers the opportunity to have them. It's only the society that punishes a woman for not wanting to have children. It's also helpful to zoom out and see that we live on a spinning globe in space. So it's not such a big of a deal to not wanting to have children. And another thing is that data actually shows that child-free women are happier. I will absolutely link a video for you to watch. It's absolutely mind-blowing when you see that. Questions to ask yourself to find out what you truly want. When have I ever found deep fulfillment and joy by choosing something my inner voice said no to? And also understand that we are social animals, and before this modern age, it was really dangerous for us to be an outcast and to not do what the crowd did, because that would have life-threatening consequences. But that's not really how it is nowadays. But our minds still try to keep us safe. So when everyone else is doing something, we will question ourselves and be like, maybe I should do that too. So let's say that I feel like I really don't want to go to law school because I feel so drawn to creativity, to travel, to spirituality, but everyone else goes to law school and they say that they love it, and that and society says that that's the only way to find true fulfillment. You might even question yourself and be like, yeah, well, maybe if everyone feels that way, maybe there's something I miss, and maybe I should do what everyone else is doing, and maybe I will get a life that is fulfilling and happy. And I guess it's the same with having children. You feel like maybe I'm missing something. If everyone else is having children, maybe I missed the point, and maybe I will regret myself and be lonely and all that. But in the law case, you wouldn't recommend anyone else to that person to go to law school. You would say, go travel, do something creative, follow your own inner wisdom, because that will bring you joy and fulfillment. But to also put this into perspective, to really understand, do I want to be a mother or not, is to compare two healthy options. And for example, let's say that you have option A, where you, like in both cases, you're in your 40s. In option A, you chose to become a parent and things turned out really great. You have a loving husband or partner, and you spend the weekends with your children doing amazing activities and creating these memories. You're baking and the house is always full of life, etc. And paint the picture for you that is the best win scenario, like a really good, healthy scenario for a woman who has a family. But then you can also look at the other best case scenario if you are child-free. And that could be that you travel the world with a loving partner, you have an amazing business, you are really feeling fulfilled, you meet amazing, inspirational people, and you have this you have so much money and energy to create, to whatever it is you want to create. Which best case scenario would make you more jealous of someone else? And then we can also look at two worst case scenarios. So let's say that you are in your 70s and you look back at your life in two different life directions where you could have chosen. And the first one is where you did have children, but you didn't really want to, but you chose to have children anyway. And it turned out to be extremely exhausting and draining, and both financially, emotionally, in every possible way, and they don't even visit you anymore, even if you put your heart and soul into it. It's been, and you've been self-neglecting a lot. And the other worst case scenario is when you don't have children and you end up lonely and you end up regretting it. So, and you end up, you don't have anyone to celebrate Christmas with, and you feel like, shit, it would have been very nice to have some children where you could spend your time with and invest in them, and maybe I should have built those like blood connections. So in one case you regret having children because you self-neglected so much, and in the other worst case scenario you regret not having children because you end up lonely. Which of these worst case scenarios feels worse to you? So whatever you choose, be okay with the outcome even if it doesn't work out. Okay, so let me leave you with this. It's your life and your choice. And you contribute more to the society if you live from your heart, and if you if you are in alignment with what you truly want. And choosing a path like the law school or children, if you don't feel aligned with it, won't really end up well. And also, not wanting children is a personal preference and not a flaw. You decide what fulfillment looks like for you. And remember that you're not alone. You might feel alone in your circle of friends and family. But if you look online, you can see that there are so many women who don't want children at this very moment. So connect with them and see if, so you feel less alone. And also understand that legacy isn't always biological. You can create so much, you can leave such beauty in this world by having all this time and freedom that you wouldn't have had if you were a mother. So you can create amazing things and do a lot of things for the world and basically mother others and help others in other ways that parents can't, because they are really restricted financially and emotionally and time wise to do things because they have to care for their children. So you have all this freedom and possibility to actually make an impact that parents don't have. And I feel like it's so funny because people can ask you, why don't you want children? But it wouldn't be okay to say, why don't you want to pursue your dream and travel the world? And it's the same with I actually had this happen, and it was someone who said, it's such a waste of great parenting potential to not have children. And I feel like you could not say back to that person, if they choose to have children, you can't say, oh, it's such a waste of potential. You wanted to be a singer, or you wanted to do this, build this business. What a waste of potential to have children. Now you can't do that, or you don't have the resources anymore. And it's so funny when you flip the question and you realize if one side isn't okay to ask, the first one isn't okay either. And I want to leave you with this. So this choice of being a mother or not, having children or not, I think it can't be a logical decision, because then you're tapped into your masculine energy. And this decision has to come from within. You must be in tune with your inner wisdom, your feminine energy, your, essence in a way. And it's always been true for me, and I think that's the case for many women. Because if you make it too logical, you can talk yourself into anything. But if you take away the logic and be like, but what do I really want? What does my body truly desire? What is my role in this world? I guess you know the answer when you ask your body that. And I feel like when you tap into your inner wisdom and your body, and you know the answer, everything else falls into place. And you actually are the creator of your life. So for example, if you decide not to have children, you are the creator of your child-free life. So you can actually it's not that you will end up lonely. You can actually take actionable steps to not become lonely and to invest in other kinds of relationships. So you're not victim to your choice. That's what I want to say. So everything will fall into place and you will be okay. Trust your intuition, trust yourself, and go and make good things in the world.